Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about sorority recruitment tips that will just make your experience a lot better, easier, and just have everything flow a lot better throughout your recruitment process. So I have actually gone through recruitment twice, so I feel like I have a lot of tips to offer and some advice to pass on, but I went through recruitment my sophomore year at the University of California, San Diego, UCSD, and I rushed and loved the process and loved everything about it, but I did decide to drop because I knew I was going to transfer schools and I didn't want to transfer sororities personally, so I went ahead and just dropped and re-rushed at my new school, which I think that was a really good decision for myself personally because chapters can vary from school to school. And then, like I said, I transferred to the University of California, Los Angeles, or UCLA, and there I rushed again. So I'm actually going to be a senior this year, so I haven't been through the recruitment process on the other side. So this is just gonna be tips from my first two recruitment experiences from the side as a potential new member. Now, keep in mind that sorority recruitment processes vary vastly throughout the country, and they also vary even more when it comes down to your school, your specific university. So make sure you check out your school's university website like Greek Life or Panhellenic website, just so you can get a better feel of what your school does, and so you can better prepare yourself for that. But some of my tips that I'll be offering today will apply to any sorority recruitment process, like the first couple ones, and then other ones are going to be a little more specific to UCLA and UCSDs. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. The first tip is something that you're going to hear over and over and over again, but it honestly is the most important and yet the most cliche, but most important piece of advice to remember, and that is to have an open mind and be yourself. Those two are super, super important. Now, it's super, super easy to go into recruitment with preconceptions, whether it's stuff you looked up on the internet about different sororities, or if you rushed as an upperclassman like I did, where you kind of know a little more about Greek life. You might have some friends in certain houses, so it's very easy for you to be swayed a certain way or swayed negatively a certain way. And the thing about the sorority recruitment process is you really have to be open to all choices. It's super, super important because I have lots of friends in different houses. Some of my close friends are in various different houses, and we're still best friends, but we're in houses that kind of fit better for us. For example, at UCLA, we have 14 Panhellenic sororities, and 12 of them go through formal recruitment. So you're going to be visiting 12 houses. That's a lot. And it's easy to, do some research online, which I'm saying right off the bat, you do not want to go to rank sites or things like that. They just put such negative connotations of houses in your head when that's not true. You might love a house, but just because you heard something like a rank or something someone posted online that makes you doubt that, don't. You really in this process, the only person you should really trust is your own judgment. So you need to be open-minded and trust your gut feeling, trust how you feel in the house, trust your conversations with the girls. Just trust your heart and your gut feeling of what house you feel comfortable in and things like that. It's super, super easy to get caught up. Me and my best friend, we rushed during the same time, and then she ended up liking other houses more, and I ended up liking different houses more, and we're still best friends to this day. She ended up not doing a sorority just because it ended up not being for her, and I did because I really liked it. So it just depends. You really have to do what's best for you and trust your gut feeling. Now, piggybacking off of that, it's also very important for you to be yourself. So the sorority recruitment is a mutual selection process. So the houses are sort of picking you, and you're picking your favorite houses. It's kind of like both. So in order to have the best possible match, so it's really important that you're yourself and that you feel comfortable and that you are being natural, because this is going to be the house you're going to be with for not only college, but for the rest of your life. So it's really important that you are just yourself, because honestly, the houses are going to love you for you, and you want to love yourself for you, and you want to love to be a part of this house as yourself. I know it sounds really cheesy, and I'm probably not making sense, but it really, really is super, super important, because you want to end up in a house that you fit well with and feel super happy and comfortable with. Okay, now that we got those cliches out of the way, let's do some more tangible tips. So So the first tip is, I know for me personally at UCLA, it was really, really hot. So you want to make sure you bring some water and maybe some snacks, because I know some days of sorority recruitment can be super, super long. So you want to bring especially like water, snacks. I mean, some houses will provide you with water and such, but just have it just in case. Like there's also going to be times where you're going to just be waiting around before you go into a house and after, and it's just super, super nice to have snacks or water on hand. With that being said, you're not allowed to take any of your stuff into the sorority houses or to the sorority, I guess, area, like the recruitment area. Like I know at UCSD, we don't have houses, so we just did them in like ballrooms. So you're not allowed to take your stuff in. So make sure you bring like some sort of bag where you can just throw all your stuff in and leave it outside the door. And also you don't want to be bringing like your most fancy like Louis Vuitton bag or anything like that, because most of the time it's going to be just on the floor, in the grass, in the dirt. Just bring like a bag, like a drawstring bag or something like that. Bring your just simple basics to sorority recruitment, and that's it. On the note of what to bring, I think super, super important to bring a pen and like a notebook. I think every single school that I've heard of sorority recruitment does provide you with a notebook, but sometimes they don't give you enough room or like spots or like pages to write all your notes down. But it's great to have a notebook or something to write with and write down. You can even type on your phone if you want, but I know some processes don't let you have your phone at all, so just kind of depends. Just have a paper and pencil, and right after you get out of a house or after a party is what we call them, you can write down exactly like the conversations you had, who you talked to, how you felt in the house, like some characteristics, how like just your feelings, like write all that down, because it's just going to be super long days of recruitment. I know for UCLA, like I said, we have 12 houses. That's so many. It's so easy to get like thoughts mixed up and crisscrossed, and it's just a lot to remember. So it's great to write everything down. Like the moment you step out of the house, just jot it down and then head on to your next event. Now, following with that, you're gonna be moving from house to house, and for some of these days, you are gonna dress like nice. Like I know for preference, which is the very last round, you do have to wear like heels and a dress. And then every other day is optional if you want to or not, but it's really nice to bring shoes to change. Definitely think of that. I always brought flip-flops with me when I walked to like the sorority house area or like the recruitment area, and then I just put my heels on, go through the house, do the round. Right after I come out, take my shoes off, put on my flip-flops, and then I'd go to the next event. Just so it's just so much nicer to be comfortable while you're walking from place to place instead of having your feet hurt the whole time, because like I said, they are super long days. Another great thing to have prepared when you go into houses and talking to girls is also have some questions prepared of things you want to know about that house, but in particular, or that kind of relate back to what you're looking to get out of. Like for me, I would ask girls like, what's your favorite thing about sorority? Or how did you know that you want to be in the sorority? Or just things like that. Like have some questions ready so you are making the most of your time in that house, instead of, it's great to have conversations, but it's also the process is supposed to help you get closer to the sorority that is like perfect for you, and that's going to be your home for like the next 4 years of like college, or how many years of college, and then for the rest of your life. So you definitely want to use that time wisely and have questions prepared of what, you're interviewing them in a way, if that makes sense. All right, and my last tip for sorority recruitment is stay positive and always remember you're only gonna be in one house. Now, the reason I say that is because during the process, yes, there are going to be cuts. You're going to be ranking the sororities in regards to your preference, and then the computer most of the time will like match you up in regards to numbers, in regards to quota, and just how the sororities may have ranked you. Every single process is different every school, but basically you are going to have to cut them. It's going to be hard in a positive way and in a negative way. So in a positive way, I know one day I had like 10 sororities that I loved, but I could only choose 8 like to go on to for the next day. So it's really hard. Like you are gonna have to make some tough choices, and like you want to keep them all, but remember, like you're gonna be only in one at the end of the day. And same thing in a negative way. I remember I think it was down to like 4, and like I got my schedule, and the ones that I had ranked like I really wanted, I didn't see some of them on there, and so I got really sad, and it like broke my heart. But then like you just have to remember, okay, yeah, on that list you might have gotten 4, and maybe like 2 you really love, and 2 like you just were okay with, you didn't love, but at the end of the day you're only going to be in one, and the process does work out to where you will most likely end up in the one that you really want. You're definitely going to end up in a sorority that is right for you and that fits you well. So trust the system, and remember, at the end of the day, as much as you have to like leave other houses behind or get cut from other houses, like you're only gonna be in one. Like I promise you, it works out. So I hope I explained that to the best of my abilities in regards to some tips of mine that I'm just passing on to new potential members that are going through recruitment this year or for future years to come. I hope this video was helpful in providing you with some tips for recruitment, and I hope you all have a blast during recruitment because it is super, super fun, although tiring, but still fun. And I hope that you have a great time finding your home away from home. Okay, so that's it for this video. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts or maybe some tips that I may have missed. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you all in a future video. Bye!